welcome to NDTV News. I am Tari Prido Ikidi. The highlights. Bayelsa State Government signs a multi-sector memorandum of understanding with Dangote Group of Companies. Federal government plans construction of 77,400 social housing units across Nigeria. Plus, Super Eagles defeats Jamaica to win the Unity Cup in England. And now the details. The state government has signed a multi-sector memorandum of understanding with the Dangote Group of Companies to foster industrial growth in Bayelsa. The agreement was formalized at a meeting between Governor Doyediri and the president of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, in Government House, Yenagoa. Correspondent George Ameli tells us more.
Business mogul Aliko Dangote is in Government House Yenagoa, sequel to a previous visit by the Bayelsa State Governor to his refinery, seeking economic partnership. Governor Diri underscored the strategic importance of the partnership that is designed to drive economic development and creation of job opportunities.
We talked about rice production, and you were very interested in that sector of agro-food. We will want that collaboration and cooperation with the Dangote Group of Companies. We have the oil processing license called OPL 240 that is owned by the Bayelsa State Government, and nothing has been done about it over the years. And we also want to throw that to you to collaborate and partner with the Bayelsa State Government. Be our investment partner so that we can actually develop that OPL to be an OML, from oil processing to an oil mining license. We're also looking at partnership in the development of the Agay Deep Sea Port. I've mentioned it over and over. And it's because it is very, very important to us. Because of the vast and rich natural resources of oil and gas that we have here, the evacuation is very key. And the only way out is for us to develop the Agay Deep Sea Port.
Governor Diri called for yet again approval from Mr. President for an infrastructural tax credit scheme with a view to enhancing infrastructure across the 3 senatorial districts of Bayelsa State.
We believe that the infrastructural tax credit scheme is one scheme that will be very relevant in the construction of these type of high-wired roads, particularly in our type of terrain. And so, my dear brother, I want to again publicly and formally invite you to be part of this scheme.
The Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Group responded.
I'm very happy, Excellency, you have mentioned about deep sea port. Excellency, if you can have deep sea port, you have gas. I can assure you, Bayelsa will be the most prosperous state in the country. You can be rest assured we'll partner with you, Excellency. On the rice, what we'll do, Excellency, we'll work together. We'll try and import a very hybrid, seeds, the seedling of rice. This place we can grow rice almost throughout the year. Excellency, on the infrastructural tax credit, you are right. And I think you need to have a discussion with His Excellency, the President of the country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We approve for Bayelsa. I will be responsible in building that infrastructure for you.
The highlight of the visit is the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding by representatives of the Bayelsa State Government and the Dangote Group. From the Executive Council chambers in Government House, Yenagoa, George Ameli reporting for NDTV News.
The federal government has declared Friday, June 6th and Monday night as public holidays to mark this year's Eid al-Adha celebration. This was announced by the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, in a statement issued on behalf of the federal government. The minister congratulated all Muslims in Nigeria and in the diaspora, urging them to continue to embody the spirit of sacrifice, obedience, and faith as demonstrated by Prophet Muhammad. Tunji-Ojo also called on Nigerians to use the Eid period to pray for peace, unity, and prosperity of the country. Eid al-Adha, also known as the Feast of Sacrifice, is celebrated by Muslims worldwide. It originates from the historic event when Prophet Abraham was commanded by God in a dream to sacrifice his son Ishmael. The federal government has unveiled plans to construct 77,400 social housing units across the country as part of efforts to bridge Nigeria's housing deficit under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development, Honorable Yusuf Fatah, made this known in a recent statement while highlighting the federal government's commitment to delivering mass housing through strategic investments and partnership. He said the government would build 3,000 housing units each in Lagos, Abuja, and Kano under the Good Hope Cities initiative, while 250 units would be developed in each of the 36 states to serve as Renewed Hope estates. He further revealed that 30% of the social housing units would be reserved for vulnerable and low-income Nigerians. The minister reaffirmed the ministry's willingness to collaborate with local and international partners, noting that discussions are already ongoing with some willing partners. The Federal High Court in Abuja is under lock and key due to the strike embarked upon by Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria on Monday. The Federal High Court chapter of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria on Monday locked out judges, lawyers, staff, and litigants from accessing the court following the indefinite strike declared by its national body. A check by the newsmen at the FHC headquarters located along Shehu Shagari Way in Abuja revealed that all the entrance gates into the high-rise building were on the lock. Judges, staff, lawyers, litigants, and members of the public were denied access as business activities in and around the court were paralyzed. JOSU national body had on May 30th in the circular by its acting national secretary, Akwashiki, asked all its chapter chairmen to effective from midnight Sunday, June 1st, direct all their members to stay at home. The directive followed on fruitful meetings and the instances of the Minister of Labor and Employment, who was conciliating on the matter. Although there were reports that some chapters of the union had backed out from the industrial action, but the Federal High Court gates were still under lock and key. The Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, Engineer Felix Omotshola Ogbe, has been appointed into the Executive Board of the African Petroleum Producers Organization, APO. By the appointment, Ogbe becomes Nigeria's representative on the board of the 18-member continental body, which has its headquarters at Brazzaville, Republic of Congo. Ogbe was picked for his role by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Enike Lokpobri, who doubles as the chairman of the NCDMB Governing Council. The notice of the Executive Secretary's appointment was conveyed in a congratulatory letter signed by the Director of Support Services, APO, Philomena Koko, on behalf of the Secretary General of the organization, Omar Farouk Ibrahim. She applauded the NCDMB boss on the confidence reposed in him by the minister, expressing her belief that he would make immense contributions to the development of the African oil and gas industry. She stated that Ogbe is joining the executive board of APO at a challenging time for the oil and gas industry, especially in Africa, noting that his appointment is a major call to duty for Nigeria and the continent. You're watching Niger Delta Television News. On the headlines, Bayelsa State Government signs a multi-sector memorandum of understanding with Dangote Group of Companies. Federal government plans construction of 77,400 social housing units across Nigeria. Still to come in the news, Super Eagles defeats Jamaica to win the Unity Cup in England. Details of these and other stories after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome to Niger Delta Television News and Current Affairs Department at the NSE Koli Media Complex here in Yanagwa, Bayelsa State.
One of NDTV's traditional objectives is to disseminate information with renewed vigor. We build teamwork for accountability, efficiency, and accuracy. Our community reports, eyewitness accounts, current affairs discussions are detailed and competitive.
As NDTV reporters, undiluted report is our goal. We gather the news and bring it to you just as it is.
Our cameras are poised to get in the story behind the story in an in-depth news report.
Our new digital equipment are top-notch with clearer visuals and audio. NDTV is repositioned to serve you better.
Join us on the news every day at 7 a.m., 12 p.m. and our major bulletin at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 25 UHF. NDTV, crystallizing the vision.
Thanks for staying tuned. The news continues. The Bayelsa State Police Command has launched a manhunt for a suspected internet fraudster after the body of a young girl was found in a hotel at the Bogene area of Yenagoa. The Police Public Relations Officer of the Bayelsa State Police Command, Mr. Musa Muhammad, who confirmed the incident, disclosed that a forensic investigation is ongoing to ensure the culprits are brought to book. Muhammad disclosed that the tragic incident occurred last Saturday at Favor Home Guest House in Igbogene, where the victim had lodged with an unidentified young man suspected to be an internet fraudster, commonly referred to as a Yahoo boy, adding that few minutes after the pair lodged in the hotel, the suspected Yahoo boy fled, leaving the deceased behind. The Police Public Command also confirmed that the female corpse is that of a 22-year-old commercial sex worker and not a member of the National Youth Service Corps, as earlier speculated. Mohammed clarified that the deceased, identified as Miss Francesca Otu, hailed from Omugbo community in Akwa Ibom State and resided at the so-called Ashawo quarters in Okake, a neighboring town bordering Bayelsa State. The police also urged members of the public with useful information to assist in the ongoing investigations. The United States of America has raised concerns over the spread of terrorist groups in Nigeria and the West African coastline. General Michael Langley, commander of the United States Africa Command, raised the concern in the wake of recent attacks in Nigeria, the wider Sahel, and the Lake Chad Basin, describing it as troubling. Correspondent Joy Ifidioka has details of these and other foreign stories.
According to reports, the United States of America has raised concern over the increasing activities of terrorist groups in Nigeria along the West African coastline. General Michael Langley, commander of the United States Africa Command, highlighted recent attacks in Nigeria, the wider Sahel, and the Lake Chad Basin as deeply troubling. He warned that terrorists' access to the Atlantic Ocean could provide them with new advances for operations, including smuggling and trafficking, thereby posing significant threats to regional and international security. Langley emphasized the need to enhance collaboration between the United States and West African nations to counter these threats effectively. He noted that terrorist groups are becoming more aggressive and are expanding their reach, which necessitated a coordinated response to prevent further destabilization of the region. According to reports, the United Kingdom has announced plans to construct up to 12 new nuclear-powered attack submarines as part of significant defense overhaul. This initiative is aimed at enhancing the UK's military capabilities amid growing global threats, particularly from Russia. The submarines, known as SSN AUKUS, will be developed under the AUKUS Security Pact with the United States and Australia, replacing the current Astute-class fleeting starting in the late 2030s. The submarines will be constructed at Base Shipyard in Barrow in Fonets, Kubra, and will feature advanced sensor design and weaponry, making them the most powerful attack submarines ever operated by the Royal Navy. However, the financial feasibility of this ambitious plan has been questioned by many voices. Lastly, Saudi Arabia has temporarily suspended block work visas for Nigeria and 13 other countries, affecting thousands of potential migrant workers. According to reports, other affected nations include Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, India, and Pakistan. The move aligns with Saudi Arabia's standardization policy aimed at boosting local employment. This decision could disrupt remittance flow and strain Nigerian households relying on income from abroad. Recruitment agencies are urged to seek alternatives during the ban. Joy Ifidi Oka, reporting for NDTV News.
Speed Darlington breaks silence following National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons investigation over his controversial video where he claimed to have slept with a minor. For this and more entertainment news, let's join Favor Aliko.
Nigerian singer Speed Darlington has broken his silence over his refusal to honor the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons. In a recent Instagram post, he took a swipe at his critics and advisors who have been urging him to change his approach, emphasizing his commitment to living his life on his own terms and continuing his music career without unsolicited advice. This statement comes after a series of legal challenges. In subsequent statements, Speed Darlington clarified that his claim was fabricated to generate attention for his newly released song. He urged that the controversy was a strategic move to gain traction and accused social justice activists of hypocrisy and intimidation. Despite the ongoing investigation, Speed Darlington remains defiant, asserting his right to freedom of expression and continuing to promote his music. Nigerian Afrofusion artist Burna Boy has responded to criticism over his remark in Lagos concert. After arriving late to the event, he confronted the audience, referring rumors about his personal life and stating, "If you like, no love me." This statement sparked backlash, with some fans labeling him as arrogant and rude. Despite his controversy, Burna Boy emphasized his love for his fans, attributing his decision to perform to alongside artist Sheyi Vibes Entertainment. He also addressed the challenges of public scrutiny, noting that he refrains from stronger reaction due to his current status and responsibilities. Nigerian rapper and activist Falz has expressed reservation about raising his children in Nigeria over what he described as issues that hinder youth development. In an interview, he highlighted how Nigerian states often hold back youth people's aspiration, pointing out that Nigeria is lagging behind in technological advancement compared to other nations. He questioned how the country can progress if not in tune with global standards for development, especially when there is resistance to younger generation taking leadership position. This concern reflects his broader apprehension about the environment in which his potential children would grow up, suggesting that without significant improvement, he might raise his children elsewhere. Aliko Joseph Favor, reporting for NDTV Entertainment News.
Nigeria Super Eagles defeated Jamaica 5-4 following a penalty shootout to win the Unity Cup in England after a 2-2 draw in regulation time. For more on this and other sports stories, let's join Ayemi Miene.
Following a strong play by Cyril Dessers, Simon Moses gave the Super Eagles of Nigeria the lead in the 9th minute. However, that lead was cut short as Jamaica equalized in the 12th minute through Kaim Dixon. The teams went into the break level at 1-1, and in the second half, Samuel Chukwueze gave the Eagles the lead in the 53rd minute. The match went straight to penalty kicks after John Russell found room in Nigeria's box to tap in the equalizer without opposition. Nigeria won 5-4, scoring all of their kicks while Jamaica missed one. In the shootout, Nigeria's debutant Uche Crisantos scored the game-winning penalty kick, handing Nigeria's new gaffer Eric Shell his first of many trophies to come. In the second leg of this year's final, Egypt's Pyramids defeated South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns 2-1. Earning them a 3-2 aggregate victory and their first African Champions League title at the 30 June Stadium in Cairo on Sunday. Due to their extensive experience playing in African club competitions, Sundowns had been the clear favorite to win the title since the Pyramids were only making their second Champions League appearance. Following a 1-1 draw in the first leg in Pretoria, Pyramids took the lead in the 23rd minute thanks to a mistake made by Sundowns defense, and Ahmed Sami doubled the lead in the 56th minute with a header from a free kick. With 15 minutes left, Ikram Reyners gave Sundowns a goal back, and another goal would have won the match under the away goals rule, but Pyramids held strong in the face of intense pressure from the visitors. Pyramids are the fourth Egyptian team to win the Champions League trophy, following record 12-time winners Al Ahly, Zamalek and Ismaili. Meanwhile, 2016 champions Sundowns are off to this month's Club World Cup in the United States. Ayemi Miene for NDTV Sports.
And that's the size of our package this evening. But before we go, a quick look at the highlights. The state government has signed a multi-sector memorandum of understanding with the Dangote Group of companies to foster industrial growth in Bayelsa. We also brought to you a report that the federal government has unveiled plans to construct 77,400 social housing units across the country as part of efforts to bridge Nigeria's housing deficit under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. And finally, Nigeria Super Eagles defeated Jamaica 5-4 following a penalty shootout to win the Unity Cup in England after a 2-2 draw in regulation time. Thanks for watching. I am Tari Prido Ikidi. Bye for now.